Hey, good afternoon there, Sweet Peas. Basic Prepper Mom Myra here. So we all know that the strike is going on, right? And it is the East Coast that is striking, which is a huge area. It's all the way from Texas all the way up to Maine. West Coast has said, you know what, we'll be able to handle some of the influx of stuff coming in, but they're not going to be able to handle that much that they're handling all their own stuff, plus all of those ports as well. So, of course, the panic buying has started. People are starting to freak out. Had a client call the office today. They were actually coming up from Costco, and he said, oh, if you don't have to go down there, don't go down there because it is chaos down there. Everybody is panic buying. And I'm like, no, that can't be right. And he's like, oh yeah. He said, everyone is panic buying. And he said Costco was sold out of toilet paper. Now, I don't understand or know how toilet paper gets to be the first go-to in a crisis situation, because it's funny because when we were talking about COVID and everybody, you know, with COVID panicking and getting toilet paper, and everybody's like, why are they panicking over toilet paper? Because COVID is not like an intestinal thing, like you're not in the bathroom all the time. So why are people panicking over that? Well, apparently it's not just a illness situation. Apparently that's the first go-to when people panic is toilet paper, and I don't understand that. Now, I like toilet paper as much as the next person, and I like my comfort as much as the next person. And if I'm in an emergency situation, if I'm in a lockdown situation, if I can't leave my house or whatever, I want to know that yes, I'm going to be comfortable. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go out and buy 20 cases of toilet paper just because I need to have it. There's other things that definitely are a priority. Now, my daughter went to Sam's Club. She is, I think she's still down there now, so this is very recent. Today, by the way, is Wednesday, October 2nd. Yes, it is Wednesday. I had to think about that. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. And so she was down at Sam's Club, and she said she must have just missed the rush because, yeah, she was at Sam's, because she said there were no carts inside. All the carts were like strewn all over the parking lot. So she said, I have a feeling that we just missed a rush. So I said, well, how do things look down there? She said, things are pretty well stocked. She goes, but I will say the toilet paper is definitely depleted, and there are some shelves that are completely empty of whatever brand. And she said bottled water was the other one that was very depleted. She said there were I think the only brand was Arrowhead. All the other brands were completely gone. There was some Arrowhead left, and that was it. So, but she said everything else kind of looked same, normal, you know, nothing was too crazy. So and I know that people are freaking out because of the whole port situation. I know people are freaking out because of, you know, supply chain issues. And it's kind of funny because you don't think about people actually paying attention, and you don't think that people are paying attention until something like this happens. And when people are going out and panic buying, not because of an illness, but not because of an impending lockdown, not because of, you know, some major emergency situation going on, but because they've heard supply chain issues might be an issue with the strike. So now everybody's going to go out and panic buy. But I think that probably started with the whole COVID thing, to be quite honest. I think everybody got freaked out about that and was like, we're not going to be in that situation again. The thing that really sucks about this whole strike is that you've got these towns and cities and people back east who are in these major flood zones, who have no resources, who have nothing. They have lost everything. Their stores probably have lost everything as well. And now they're not going to be able to get those supplies to be able to stock up and store up to replace what is needed in those towns. That, to me, is the worst part of this situation. And when you're in a situation like the floods, you can stock up, you can store up, you can prep up. But if you've got water coming in and just washing everything away, what do you do then? Where are your stores? Where is your emergency at that point? This is where we talk about having different places for your stores, having different areas where you stockpile things and store certain things, not just in one place, not just on your property, not just in your house, not just in your garage or your shed, somewhere other places, other people's property, other people's houses, friends, neighbors, relatives, well, maybe not neighbors because you need to be in the same situation, but people in a couple of towns over that you know, or something somewhere that you can stockpile things that if something were to happen to your house. And it's the same thing with a fire situation. If you had, with us with the wildfires, if you had a wildfire coming through and burning everything, there go all your stocks in your stores, everything, unless you have other places that you are stockpiling things. And that's really, I think, what I'd be looking at. First of all, definitely continue to stock up and store up, and I would do everything you can now as quickly as possible. I know it's very difficult with the finances and everything. We're having that issue as well. But if we see supply chain issues, it's not just going to be that things are going to be hard to get a hold of, but prices are going to skyrocket. Typically in warehouses in the United States, I think there is about a 30 to 60 day supply of stuff in those warehouses. Once that is depleted, that's it. And usually they kind of have a rotation where they're shipping things out to the store and they're getting stuff in. And so there's this kind of rotation, but at any given time, I believe it's 30 to 60 days worth of supplies in the warehouses if everything's stopped. So if that happens, if nothing's coming in, they're going to start rationing things. They're going to start, and when you ration things, you start price increase happens, and then you end up in a situation. So while you can, if you can, I definitely would stock up and store up on things. It's heartbreaking what's going on back east. I've got friends and family back east. Thankfully, all of them are safe. All of them are fine that I know of. Everybody is checked in. We're good to go. But there are so many more that are not. So, we need to make sure that if you have the ability to prepare, do that. Find different places for you to put things just in case, because we never know. Out here, it is still super hot. I think it was 102 today. We're in October and it's 102. That means that wildfire season is not even remotely over yet. We could have a really dry winter. I don't know, but the weather's still hot. It's still super dry, and we have to be prepared for wildfires coming through. So that is what I have to talk about today. Hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. But really look at what you have in store. Look at what you have. Take note of that. Stock up and store up when you can, and make sure that you put your caches in different areas. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing night, and we'll talk to you later.